What up, Titans Tube? Welcome to our preview episode of the Titans versus the Raiders this weekend at Nissan Stadium. We'll be bringing you the breakdown right here.
Yes.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a big early season game for both teams. We're coming in 1-1, just like the Raiders. We're coming off that win against Detroit, and they are coming off a loss against the Falcons at home. So, big game this week. Let's go ahead and get straight into the breakdown.
Let's do it. Currently, the Raiders are sitting with the number 1 overall ranked offense in the league. However, they are also touting the number 32 ranked defense. So it seems pretty obvious what their strengths and their weaknesses would be. But let's delve a little more into this black-hearted team and see how we're going to beat them this Sunday. Starting with the quarterback, Derek Carr is the unwavering leader of the others. Wait, I mean, not the others. I meant the Raiders. Sorry, I just haven't seen a dude wear that much eyeliner on TV since Richard Albert or Captain Jack Sparrow. And Derek Carr has more in common with these two than just his effeminate love for eye makeup. He is the unquestioned leader of the Raiders. He is the captain of the ship. He is the gears that make the clock tick.
Nice.
And we have to stop him.
He actually reminds me of a Game of Thrones character, Mathos Seaworth, the son of Davos Seaworth. I don't think he had a very good ending on that show, though. Much like Derek Carr will not have a good ending against the Titans.
Death by fire is the purest kind of death.
Carr is definitely a threat. He's already started off this season extremely hot. Through the first 2 games, Carr's averaging over 300 pass yards a game. He's thrown 4 TDs and 0 interceptions. The guy's got over 107 quarterback rating. So, to say the least, he is like Davos's son. He's on fire. Last year, Carr tore us up at home for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. We cannot let that happen again this Sunday.
So let's just hope that he doesn't do that again. Our secondary is probably going to be having nightmares trying to figure out how to stop this guy. But hey, let's not forget we kept Matthew Stafford in check last week, who was a prolific passer in this league. He only had 1 touchdown pass against us, and we got to pick him off once.
Carr and Stafford actually remind me a lot of each other. Both, young talents, cannon arms, and above athleticism for a cracker. Now on to our quarterback situation and the savior himself, Marcus Mahalawachaboy Mariota.
All right.
Now, if we are going off his most recent of recent plays, which would be the 4th quarter of last week, he is looking good. He finished the game going 9 for 9, hitting 5 different receivers, and a touchdown to Andre Johnson on that epic 4th and 5 play. He also had another touchdown earlier in that quarter. However, overall his play was a little shaky, but finished strong.
Right. Let's just cherry pick that 4th quarter. That's what we're going off of. That is the momentum we're going to carry over into this game.
If there is a positive note here, besides how hot Mariota is coming off, it's that Oakland's defense has given up a whopping 808 passing yards in 2 games. That's over 400 yards a game average. I know Marcus hasn't been known yet for just launching the ball through the air for 300-plus yard games. But if there's a game to do it, this might be the one.
It might be, yes. So who would you give the advantage to quarterback-wise?
If we're just going on quarterback skill alone, I think Derek Carr has a slight edge. He has a little more experience, not a lot, but a little more experience than Mariota. He's got a stronger arm, just more weapons around him, better at reading defenses. At this moment in time, I think Marcus is going to get there, but I'm going to have to give the advantage to Derek Carr at this moment. Okay, now on to the running back game. Oakland's number 1 running back is Latavius Murray. And now, while he does have some breakaway speed, Oakland as a whole is not really known for any kind of power run game or finesse run game. They're more known for their passing, for sure. But Latavius Murray is their number 1 back, and he does have that quickness to break a long one if our defense lets up.
Not only Latavius Murray, but they do have 2 rookie running backs that they're utilizing in Jalen Richard and DeAndre Washington. So we're going to see a little bit of them come this game. They've got some speed as well. Two good-looking young running backs, but Latavius Murray is the leader in that backfield.
Yes, but very similar to the situation we faced last week in the Lions. Their run game is more predicated on how well their passing game's doing. So if they start stretching the field with the passing game, that's when their run game really gets going. I mean, I think Latavius Murray only has 22 carries on the season through 2 games. So they're not a team that's just going to pound it with the run the whole game. The run is purely to complement the passing game. But a team that will pound it up your face with the run
Is
the Titans.
Yeah, that's right.
The Tennessee Titans.
We have a Murray of our own, DeMarco Murray. It's going to be a little battle of the Murrays in the running back department.
Exactly. I think we are coming off a great week against Detroit. Murray and Henry both had a very strong game. I mean, combined, they touched the ball 30 times and combined for a total of 194 yards rushing and receiving. And I think that's great. We stuck with the run even late in the game. We didn't get away from it. Murray was able to bust a long 67-yard run and had a few other really great runs. And I think Henry got nine rushes, but with that he reduced 40 yards, and he looked really strong on those runs, powering through guys and always falling forward. So our run game is looking pretty strong in my opinion.
If y'all remember, we played the Raiders in the preseason, and we ran all over them. I mean, in the preseason, that is totally indicative of the regular season, right? So as we know, the running, of course, starts up front with the O-line, and Jack Conklin has actually stood out really well in the run game, and really just in general. He's proven himself worthy as a first-round pick. We have a stat here. In the last 11 years, only 2 rookies have earned a higher grade through their first 2 games than Conklin. Joe Thomas and Jake Long. That's some pretty good company, especially the Joe Thomas one.
That is very good company.
If he turns out to be anything like him, we hit a home run with Jack Conklin. So I think in the running game here, the advantage has to lie with the Titans.
Has to.
We have 2 running backs that have produced so far this year, especially last game against the Lions. We are a run-first team, and like we said, if we're going matchup-wise against their defense, I think we have a clear advantage since they have a little weaker of a defense. So, got to give the Titans the check mark in the running back category. Cha-ching!
On to the receivers and the tight ends. We all know that Oakland's number 1 receiver is Amari Cooper out of the University of Alabama. However, maybe he will take it easy on us this week because we have 4 players out of Alabama.
Yeah, we got the Alabama advantage.
But it's probably unlikely. Already this year, Cooper is averaging over 100 yards a game in only 2 games. And right behind him at number 2 is the once known as the sorry receiver. Thanks, Richard Sherman.
When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get.
He's not really that sorry of a receiver. Michael Crabtree can make plays. So we definitely have to keep our eye on him.
He's had a touchdown in each of their first 2 games already, so he's definitely a threat, especially in the red zone. Those are their 2 main guys. If you look at a third guy, I would say Latavius Murray, their running back. They utilize him a lot in the receiving game. He's already had a good amount of catches so far this year. So those are the 3 we really have to look out for. If they do have a weak spot, it's probably their tight end position, where they have the most generic named American in football, Lee Smith. He's only totaled 4 catches for 24 yards so far this year. So they don't really look his way, but they don't have to because Amari Cooper is kind of hogging all the yards.
Their tight ends might be weak, but Derek Carr does like to spread the ball around. They've already had 12 different players record a reception in their offense in just 2 games. So yeah, we got to keep an eye on just about everybody on the field because Derek Carr, he's a smart quarterback. He knows the routes. He can pick out a receiver that's open and get him the ball.
Now on to our receivers.
Oh yeah, my favorite part.
So Tajay Sharp cooled off a little bit after his great outing in Minnesota in his first NFL game, but he did have a couple clutch catches last week to extend drives. And Rashard Matthews, while we didn't throw him the ball a lot, he did make every catch that he could have. Still solid receivers. But big thing last week, though, is we got Delanie Walker the ball, and he produced. He caught 6 balls for 83 yards and a touchdown against Detroit. And let's not forget our grandpa, Andre Johnson, who made the game-winning grab on the 4th and 5 over 3 players with his elbow.
Yeah.
And his shoulder or something.
He caught it like this.
Yeah. Our receiving game's coming off a hot 4th quarter, especially Delanie Walker. Great game last week.
Let's not forget about DeMarco Murray. He is making his presence known in the receiving game. We like to throw the ball to DeMarco Murray, so he's going to be another factor for that Oakland defense as well. So we may not have the superstars on our team that Oakland does, and Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree, not a superstar, but he's definitely
He's definitely not sorry.
yeah, he's not a sorry receiver. He can make plays, like we said. But we may have the deeper receiving core at the position, but you still got to go with Oakland in the receiving game category.
I mean, Amari Cooper can single-handedly take over games, so we have to be wary of that. We currently do not have any receivers on the roster that can do that. So, advantage Oakland. Okay, now on to the defense. We've already mentioned that Oakland is currently last in the league in defense. They're giving up a whopping 517 yards a game. That's incredible.
I can't believe they're 1-1 by doing that.
But I don't think they're as bad as they've been playing so far. And they do have some really good personnel, mainly Khalil Mack. That dude is a defensive player of the year candidate anytime he's on the field.
Not only Khalil Mack, who's their clear star of their defense, they have a couple other good linebackers in Malcolm Smith and Bruce Irvin that they were acquired in the offseason. So they got some players, they got some gamers there on defense. So just because they may have given up more yards than any other team doesn't mean that they don't have guys capable of making big plays for him.
I mean, Khalil Mack can single-handedly, kind of like Amari Cooper, take over the game. He can force fumbles, force turnovers, and completely knock an offense out of their rhythm. So we cannot let him get going. We can't take this defense for granted, just like you said. So for us, so far through the first two games, our defense is a little hard to figure out. Our run game has been incredibly solid, shutting out Adrian Peterson and then pretty much containing Detroit's run game, though the penalties kind of contained themselves. We've only given up one touchdown through 2 games on defense, and we played Detroit and their high-octane passing offense with Stafford and Golden Tate and all those players. Only 1 touchdown. I still feel like we're rather weak. Especially in the secondary.
Our pass rush finally came through last week, and we forced our first turnover last week, so we're going to have to bring that momentum on defense into this game if we're going to have a chance, because, yeah.
There's still reason to worry, especially going up against the number 1 offense in the NFL right now. So it's going to be a tough challenge for our defense.
So who would you give the edge to? Because it seems like both of our defenses have areas of struggling.
Yes, the Titans defense has struggled, but it's been producing results miraculously. And just based on stats, Oakland's last in the league in defense, so clearly advantage goes to the Titans just based on the field production. So those are our breakdowns of the major categories of each team. So now let's go on to our predictions. Justin, we'll start with you. Oakland and Tennessee. Who you got winning?
I got my boys, the Tennessee Titans, of course. Last week, I predicted a pretty high-scoring game between the Titans and Lions. That was wrong. I'm going to do that again this week because I think our offense is going to have to start putting up points on the board, and if it doesn't start against the worst defense in the league, I don't know when it's going to start. But I got the Titans by a touchdown in this one, 31-24.
I, as well, am going with my boys in blue, the Tennessee Titans, to pull this one out. I don't think Oakland's defense is as bad as the ratings show right now, but I think our offense is going to have a pretty good game, and I think we take this one 24-17. Titans. But anyways, you know how we finish these episodes. Since our advantages were even across the board, we have to turn to the divine John Madden and the Madden NFL 2017 video game to see who's really going to win this matchup. And since my wife picked the Raiders to win, we're going to make her play as the Raiders, see if she can beat us. So,
come on, John Madden.
Let's do this.
Come on, Madden.
Go Titans.
Give us the game. Go Titans.
Go DeMarco! Positive yards on first down, though. You can't be mad about that.
Well,
Cannot.
looking sharp.
Looking sharp.